she alleged that over her time at Fox News, O'Reilly repeatedly harassed her, that there was an unconsensual sexual relationship, and he had sent her a bunch of pornography. Now, her lawyers went to O'Reilly's lawyers at the end of the year, and within a matter of days, they came to this enormous settlement, one of the largest settlements we've ever heard of, certainly the largest one at Fox since all the Ailes stuff began, last summer, I guess 2 summers ago. And, it was a remarkable amount of money, but the deal was structured in a way that kept that figure from Fox.
Unconsensual sexual relationship, how is that different from rape?
We're just going based on the information that was provided to us. Fox had given us an on-the-record statement that laid out what was in the complaint, and that was how that they described it. So the thing is that there are lots of questions about Lise Wheel's relationship with Bill O'Reilly, but as part of their deal, part of the settlement, the complaint was destroyed. There's no longer a copy of it anywhere.
Can we read out? Bill O'Reilly was very angry about all of this, and he tweeted out a link to a PR statement. And then he posted this document signed by Lise Wheel. And she says, at the end of 2016, I hired counsel who prepared a draft complaint asserting claims against Bill O'Reilly. We have since resolved all of our issues. I would no longer make the allegations contained in the draft complaint. So he bought her silence.
Well, $32 million is an enormous amount of money, and as part of the deal, Ms. Wheel agreed to sign that affidavit and also agreed that she would put out a statement that her and O'Reilly agreed upon if it ever became public that there was an issue here. We had gone to Ms. Wheel in April when we first heard about this, and we got a very ambiguous statement back in which she basically didn't really address the issue. But it took us many more months of reporting to get to the point that we were at where we felt comfortable to do the story this past weekend.
So O'Reilly actually sat down and spoke to you and the other reporter who broke this story, and this is a quote from that interview, if I may. I've never had one complaint filed against me by a coworker in any HR department in 43 years in 12 different companies, but all of a sudden this stuff happens. The pain it brings to my children, indescribable. What was your reaction when you said that, knowing all of the settlements that had been come to in the past?
Well, there's been 6 settlements that have been made related to O'Reilly during his 2 decades at the network. And this morning, Megyn Kelly, when she was addressing these issues, said that she had made a complaint against O'Reilly, and his claim that there were no complaints was not true. This is something he has maintained since we did our first story 6 months ago, that there were never issues related to him at all, never anything filed. But in his interview with Glenn Beck today, he did acknowledge at least 3 settlements that he had made during his time at Fox. So, I'm not sure how he gets to make that statement, but that's his claim.
We have some sound. You guys recorded the interview. It was an on-the-record interview. You recorded it. Here's we're going to play that for the audience, and maybe that explains what his defense was about why he wanted to settle. Take a listen.
Why don't you be human beings once? This is horrible. It's horrible what I went through. Horrible what my family went through. This is crap. And you know it. It's politically and financially motivated. And we can prove it with shocking information. But I'm not going to sit there in a courtroom for a year and a half and let my kids get beaten up every single day of their lives by a tabloid press who would sit there, and you know it.
Michael, what he implies there, and a couple other times I listened to the blog post this morning, or the podcast this morning, is that the reason he settled is not because they were true, these allegations, but because he didn't want the public scrutiny of a trial, etc.
Yeah, he thinks he's a target here and has been a victim. He thinks that that because of his stature and because he's a controversial person that has a lot of money, that he is a person that people will make accusations against and will profit off of that. He thinks that has certainly accelerated in the time after Ailes. Since Ailes has left, he's made 3 deals, and he has also, Fox found out about one that he had made years earlier. Now, the whole part about this is that Fox still re-upped his contract knowing this. Fox knew about the accusations made by Lise Wheel in January, and around that time began contract negotiations with him, and they came to an extension by the middle of February. and that was for to give him a pay raise by several $1 million and extend the deal by at least 3 years, I believe.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.